Tonight in this newscast, Menji, chief town of the Lebialem division, counts its losses as the Anglophone crisis deepens. A division with one of the worst road networks in the country is now one of the epicenters of the Anglophone crisis. The economy is going down the drain, schools are being set ablaze, and commercial bike riders accused for being the main perpetrators are now living in the bushes for fear of being arrested. We bring you a special report in this newscast. Plus, President Paul Biya has reiterated his war on secessionists. He has vowed to punish all those responsible for the killing of innocent Cameroonians and the forces of law and order. He was speaking during a toast offered in honor of the visiting Secretary General of the Commonwealth. Plus, it's almost Christmas. How much have you budgeted for food, clothing, and gifts? Our reporter Andy Maureen will tell us some of the difficulties families face in budgeting for the big day. Those were the headlines. Now, 10 regional governors will tonight end their three-day conclave of the second semester meeting in Yaoundé. The 3 days meeting was chaired by the Minister of Territorial Administration, Emmanuel Rene Sadi. The minister and governor discussed security issues and the socio-political problems going on in the northwest and the southwest regions of the country. They are expected to come up with a clear action plan on how to tackle security issues, especially at the end of this year. Now, as I announced earlier, we have a special report tonight in this newscast. It's about Menji, the chief town of the Lebialem division, which has recorded so many demonstrations since the onset of the Anglophone crisis. Now, from the September 22nd rioting to the October 1 massive demonstration, which also led to the so-called declaration of independence and also to the rejection of a Yaoundé delegation for peace talk, Menji is slowly but surely becoming one of the epicenters of the Anglophone crisis. Now, commercial bike riders have been targeted and blamed for the continuous burning of schools, and for fear of arrest, most of them are now living in the bushes. Now, I traveled to that part of the country some few days back, and here is a special report of what has become of Menji in particular, and of course Lebialem in general, 1 year after the Anglophone crisis. Menji, chief town of the Lebialem division in the southwest region, has been described as one of the kingpins of the Anglophone crisis and often called a separatist stronghold. More than 1 year after the Anglophone crisis, the economy of the town is now in ruins.
Business is going down. People don't open their stores as they have to open. From Monday, you have ghost town, sometimes to Friday. Sometimes people don't move as they wish.
I think if I have to give my impressions, it is really terrible. This crisis has caused a lot of untold difficulties. I mean, if you have to go to the market, prices of items has skyrocketed. Mobility has come to a standstill. To summarize, everything is grounded.
Schools have been a major target, razed down by unknown individuals. Bike riders have often been blamed for the burning of schools, but new information now points fingers to men in uniform too.
There's one common word here, ghost. You don't know who is doing what. If it be I standing here, I don't think I'm safe. You don't know who is who. Of recent, I heard some people, they caught some security men trying to burn down GTHS. I've seen it on social media, all over. In that kind of situation, what do you want me to say? If the people who are supposed to protect us are the ones who are maybe propagating violence.
The resistance of the people of Lebialem has been fueled by their long-time relegation and non-sharing of the national cake.
A Lebialem man, to tell the truth, has suffered from the hands of this government. If you look at our road from Uchang to Menji, it's a distance of less than 45 kilometers. But if I tell you the amount to pay, and you have to compare to other distances that the roads are good, you will not believe it. So if you go into the government, we don't have Libyan sons and daughters into the government. So a Libyan man just feel that he has been relegated at the background.
Other basic amenities are largely absent.
In town, we don't have pipe-on water. Electricity is a problem.
Most of the commercial bike riders are now living in the bushes for fear of being arrested. Fear of victimization, this bike rider opted for anonymity as he recounts his ordeal.
Okay, I am a commercial bike rider by profession. Some months back, we had some crisis here in Fontaine that the military men were bullying the youth, especially the bike riders, that they are the one encouraging this strike in Fontaine. So they were like pursuing them, caning people, beating people, dragging some, breaking into people's houses, locking them up. So we were forced to run away. So I, for one, and one of my colleagues, were in the forest for about 2 weeks.
Those suspected to be connected to government officials also have a huge price to pay.
And the crisis affected me because they came and burned my house, gathered my chair, burned in the parlor. I did not say that it was Oshu or he or not. I don't want to say that.
Yes.
Because they said I was working together with the parliamentarians, but unfortunately for them, the parliamentarian was not here, and some people are believed. So in this our place.
As the Anglophone crisis deepens, it is a wish for many for government to initiate frank and sincere dialogue as a way of getting out of the crisis. And while the Anglophone crisis deepens, the head of state, His Excellency Paul Biya, has vowed to install order in the northwest and southwest region of the country and punish all those involved in the killings of innocent Cameroonians and forces of law and order in the country. He was speaking during a toast offered during the launch offered to the visiting Secretary General of the Commonwealth, Honorable Patricia Scotland. The Commonwealth Secretary General, in response, pledged for the support of the Commonwealth in preserving unity and peaceful coexistence in Cameroon. The state launch was preceded by an audit between Honorable Patricia Scotland and Paul Biya, who later held talks with the head of diplomatic missions in Cameroon, the President of the National Assembly, and the Senate. Honorable Patricia Scotland has paid a visit to the head office of African Synergy, the Chantal Biya International Reference Center, and National Museum. Earlier today, she held talks with officials of Elections Cameroon, the National Anti-Corruption Commission, and the National Commission for Human Rights and Freedom. And now Christmas is just around the corner, a time when families strive to present just the very best for their loved ones. But how much do they budget in order to celebrate this festive season? Our reporter Ndi Morin has been talking to some family heads. And here's a report.
The festive period is usually characterized by lots of spending. People turn to put in a lot more of resources than they do at any other time of the year. It is a case for this family. The home is yet to be transformed into colors of Christmas. We are not yet set for the feast of Christmas. We are really handicapped. No money to buy the necessary items. This family tells me, unlike last year, the budget for Christmas has doubled. Last year we spent 200,000 francs. This year we have to double the budget since things are really expensive in the market. Items usually buy at 1,000 francs is now sold at 3,000 francs. Even toy, there's no toy you can buy at 3,000 francs, at least 5,000 francs. It's difficult. Christmas is the time of the year when some families get united. This family is doing just that, but say they're experiencing financial hardship. They say they don't have a fixed budget for Christmas this year, unlike last year when things went smoothly. I'm supposed to receive my family this year. My sister is here with her children, and we're here to start preparations for Christmas. To meet her with preparations and give just the best meals for families, these women are obliged to shill egusi to cut costs.
And while families contemplate on what budget to set in order to celebrate Christmas, the east entrance of the town of Douala is really not yet in the colors of Christmas. The green spaces have been abandoned and have been filled with plastic waste, urban disorder and uncivic behavior of the population, as you tell us, Christel Katala.
This is the new look of the east entrance of Douala in Cameroon. Abandoned green spaces, which now serves as business shelves for some traders, with grass of more than 1 meter in some areas, plastic waste and sand covering large surface area of the road. These add to uncivic behavior of inhabitants and traders who have exhibited their goods along the roadside, causing traffic. This man says he is fed up with the situation. He adds that he thought with the new roads, Ndopasi would have been beautifully decorated, but he is disappointed that green spaces are not being maintained. From Trades roundabout to Elf, passing through Ndopasi 3 roundabout, the situation is same. At the General Secretariat of Town Planning and Public Hygiene of the Douala City Council, the director says they are still to include tenders for public contracts for the maintenance of Ndopasi 3. These decorations on electric poles, which announce the beginning of end-of-year festivities, totally contrast with what is seen on the field. Inhabitants of Ndopasi 3 neighborhoods in the Douala 3 municipality hope to spend the feast of Christmas and New Year in a clean and healthy environment.
Thank you, Christel Katala, for that report. And we'll now talk something else, where some 10 former staff representatives of the Douala City Council were sacked about 8 months ago for demanding for their health insurance and now demanding for reintegration into the council. Now, this was during a press point held yesterday in Douala. As you tell us once more, Christel Katala.
Sacked since 8 months ago for demanding health insurance. During a strike action, these staff representatives of the Douala City Council are still demanding for their reintegration as workers of the council and the payment of their dues.
Health insurance, that is all our crime. Is it a problem to a personal delegate to ask for the boss to securize the person? No, that's all our crime. I don't know if you can't. How can I say it? You can find something else in that démarche.
So what do you expect?
We are not expecting anything from the government delegate because since 10th of April, the government delegate don't want even to discuss with us because we thought that if we have did something as a crime, we should bring about and discuss and know that this was you are capability of, okay? We are expecting of the justice and the politician administration to help us in order to reintegrate us or to sat us and to pay our rights.
Why must you attend the party?
Despite several notifications from the Ministry of Labour and Social Security via its Littoral Regional Delegation to Dr. Fritz Ntone, government delegate to the Douala City Council, nothing has been done. However, the staff representative said they still count themselves as workers of the council.
Protest. We want to protest. We still be personal council worker. We are protesting. We want all the people to know that we still be in Douala City Council as workers because we are not yet sat.
Many were seeing their salaries cut off and say since then life has not been easy. They are calling on political, judicial and administrative authorities to react on the issue.
Now, in 2015, the Cameroon government placed a ban on the circulation and consumption of whiskey in sachets. Well, 2 years down the road, the whiskey, or rather spirit, is so very much in circulation, sold and consumed even by minors. The proliferation of the whiskey in sachets and some of the negative consequences it has on its consumers is what has now prompted a sensitization campaign, as you tell us, Gladys Ambodiba.
Whiskey in sachets is a drug. It has been banned and it kills. These are some of the messages brandished by the Consumers' Rights Association, the Cameroon Consumer Foundation, at the campaign aimed at educating the population on the dangers of commercializing and consuming the spirits in sachets. Members of the association are visiting some markets in Cameroon's economic city, Douala, and sticking stickers carrying the messages on motorbikes. At the Deido market this December 18, traders and consumers were sensitized on the effects of consuming the hard liquor.
Whiskey in back is banned by the government since 2016. Whiskey in back is a very dangerous, it's a poison, it's a drug. It's the reason why we are here to tell them that health professionals say that whiskey is a danger that reduces ability capacity and can lead to heart attack. So now don't consume again that product. That product is banned, that product is a drug, that product is a poison.
According to experts, sachet whiskey contains high rates of alcohol due to the methanol used in fabricating the spirit, and consequently has a devastating effect on the brain. It should be recalled that the decision in 2014 banned sachet whiskies in Cameroon after it was discovered to have toxic substances dangerous to human health. Manufacturers were given a 2-year deadline to halt production and sales, but the deadline has expired, yet the products are still found in markets and the population continue to consume the hard liquor, which is affordable but dangerous to humans.
And still talking about things that could affect our health negatively, the population of Takija in the Bui division of the Northwest region have been cautioned against the high intake of sugar and salt in order to prevent them from hypertension and diabetes. Now, experts advise the population at a health campaign against diabetes and hypertension in the locality. As you tell us, Gladys Ambodiba.
Diabetes, hypertension and related diseases are said to be on the rise in the Bui division in northwest Cameroon. To help drop the rate and prevent inhabitants of Takija from these diseases, the Juris of Islam in Bui, which is the umbrella organization of Muslims, has organized a health consultation and sensitization campaign to educate the population on the dangers of these diseases.
The main reason why the Juris of Islam is organizing this campaign is because we have realized that health is wealth. When the community is made up of healthy people, they will be able to carry out their activities. Normally they will be able to pray, worship God well, and then they will be able to do all the other activities. That is why we want to invest in their health.
Before being tested, the over 100 men, women and children who answered presents were cautioned against consuming high quantities of oil, salt and sugar, amongst others.
The things that we eat, we have an increase in salt intakes. We have an increase in the sugary drinks. If it's not sugary drinks, it is in beer. We are drinking too much, be it the beer, be it the sugary drinks. Some people think that if you drink something like Guinness or you drink something like beer, which is not sweet, you are not going to get diabetes.
According to experts, people need to change their lifestyles and do daily exercises.
Have at least 30 minutes of physical exercise. At least 30 minutes. If you can do it every day, excellent. If you can do it once in every 2 days, better. If you can do it one every 3 days, then that will be good. But I'll prefer you go for excellent. And excellent is doing 30 minutes at least every day.
Organizers were impressed with the turnout and have announced similar exercises in other communities in the Bui division in northwest Cameroon.
We now take you to the south region of the country, where in less than 3 months, about 5 corpses have been discovered in Ebolova, the chief town of that region. It's against this growing insecurity that authorities have called on the population to remain vigilant, especially as they prepare to celebrate Christmas and New Year. Annette Efeti-Esome completes that story.
Another corpse discovered in the Ebolova 2 subdivision. This lead man is one Calix Minchene, former night watch at the Ebolova Regional Hospital, but now without a job. He was knocked down by a bike, for he had problems with his leg. From here to the hospital, he could spend about 3 hours. Pungent odor from around the Ebolova town hall under construction alerted security men. Authorities came to take stock of this other situation.
Il s'agit tout simplement d'un cas de plus.
This is another case. Within 3 months, we have made 5 discoveries, and the circumstances of their death are different. People should be careful during this end of year.
La population a plus de vigilance, surtout en cette veille des fêtes de fin d'année.
It's just 3 weeks ago when the lifeless body of a young boy was discovered in the Quavas neighborhood 5 days after, not forgetting the pastor who was assassinated and thrown in the well in Ojing, then a suicide case and others. This path in the grass is leading to someone's home. Here in Ebolova, many who live in abject poverty die in funny ways.
We stay in Ebolova, but this time around we'll talk about frozen chicken. While the importation and sale of frozen chicken is forbidden in Cameroon, but in Ebolova the activity seems to be flourishing. Now the DO of Ebolova 2 has warned defaulters as he supervised the destruction of over 50 cartons of frozen chicken that was seized. Annette Efeti-Esome once more.
The divisional officer of Ebolova 2 has waged a war against imported frozen chicken. Under the watchful eyes of Bertrand Tar, some 60 cartons were destroyed in a spectacular manner. The fraudulent goods were seized at the job checkpoint at the entrance to Ebolova. The divisional officer has warned defaulters. Let them know they can't escape the watchful eyes of authorities of Ebolova 2. Our services are professional and patriotic. They are not corrupt. This action undertaken by officials of Binepia has been saluted. Fraudulent imported frozen chicken is a growing activity in Ebolova. The ban of this commodity has instead flourished sales. After the bird flu outbreak and now the festive period, we are very watchful. This meat is not good for consumption. The products are coming from Equatorial Guinea and Gabon. Meantime, local poultry farmers wallow in poverty.
Now, a sub-regional livestock fair is ongoing. Participants are discussing ways on which to improve livestock farming in the country. The fair has been themed a lone factor of livestock development in the country, as we hear in the following report.
The Ngaoundara ceremonial ground has been transformed into a ranch. For 3 days, different species of animals are being exposed at a sub-regional livestock fair. Farming machines, animal feed, and veterinary products are equally being presented to farmers so as to facilitate their activities.
La complémentation aujourd'hui est obligatoire.
Complementary feeding is obligatory for a good livestock farmer in order to have a good flock. Natural grass is not enough. We need to complement with foods that have vitamins, minerals, and salt. It helps to grind millet and corn stalk. So today, livestock farmers do not need to cut the stalks with machetes or knives.
Aujourd'hui, les éleveurs n'auront plus de difficultés à découper les tiges avec des couteaux ou bien des machettes.
The Ngaoundéré Livestock Fair is a platform for exchange, learning, discovery, and sharing for university researchers in the sub-region. They are learning new techniques to promote second-generation agriculture. This year is meant for university lecturers to exchange mostly on issues related to animal health.
Aux problématiques de l'élevage en général et plus particulièrement sur la santé animale et puis aussi sur l'alimentation.
The Ngaoundéré Livestock Fair is a time to exchange know-how on animal husbandry.
We now take you out of the country where at least 2 people have been killed after fire swept through one of Kenya's most popular nightclubs on the outskirts of the country's lakeside city of Kisumu. The police reported earlier today the number of dead could rise as many people are feared trapped in the building. Since the incident, firefighters have been battling the blaze 4 hours after it started on the first floor. Police suspect that an electrical failure caused the fire at the Dream City nightclub. And well, ladies and gentlemen, that's how we saw it for this edition of the news on Canal 2 English. I'm Regina Fonjaleke, thanking you for watching and calling on you to stay tuned for more interesting programs on your favorite TV. Good night.